When you meet your soulmate, it's like a dream come true. However, sometimes your soulmate isn't ready for a relationship. The two of you are instantaneously attracted to one another, and you recognize that there is something unique about this individual. You cannot get enough of them and wish to spend as much time as possible with them. But what if your partner isn't prepared? What if they are still dealing with baggage from the past or are simply not ready for a committed relationship? When your soulmate is not ready for a relationship, it can be extremely frustrating, especially if you believe that there is something truly unique between you two. However, there are ways to deal with this circumstance without losing hope. Can your soulmate not be relationship ready? It is essential to realize that your soulmate is a person with a life of their own, and sometimes that means they are not ready for the type of relationship you desire. It is also possible that they are not interested in dating at this moment in their lives. It is not simply a matter of whether or not someone is your soulmate, but also of whether or not they are ready for a committed romantic engagement. If they are unwilling to commit, it does not matter if they are your soulmate or not. They will not be able to provide you with what you require. It is essential to remember that relationships are two-way streets, even if you feel like something is missing. If you're only concerned with what you're missing out on and what someone else must do to repair the problem, you only see half of the picture. How to proceed if your soulmate is unprepared? It feels like a dream come true when you finally find the one. You imagine that your life together will be ideal. And then it occurs, you meet your soulmate, but it's far from perfect. In actuality, love can be rather messy. If your soulmate is not ready for a relationship, the first step is to acknowledge that this person has been injured in the past and needs time to recover. If this individual has previously been in an abusive relationship, they may require time to process their emotions and determine if they are ready to trust again. If they were previously in a miserable marriage, they may require time to determine whether or not they want to leave their current relationship before entering another. It can be upsetting when someone seems great for you but is unwilling to date or commit immediately. But remember that patience is vital. This does not imply that you should wait until your soulmate is ready. Continue pursuing the life you truly desire, regardless of whether your love is prepared. If you are finding value in this content, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future videos. 7 strategies for dealing with an unprepared soulmate. A soulmate is someone with whom you feel destined to spend eternity. If you are in a love relationship with someone who is not ready for that level of commitment, it can be difficult for both of you. Here are some suggestions for dealing with an unprepared soulmate. 1. Accept the circumstance. Accept the circumstance. Your soulmate may not be ready for a relationship at this time. They may have had other priorities, or they may not have been seeking a romantic relationship, or maybe it's just timing. Perhaps they are already in a relationship and need time to determine whether or not their current partner is suitable before committing to another. There are just 2 options available if your soulmate no longer wishes to meet up with you. Accept the circumstance and move forward with your life. 2. You should not wait around for them to change their opinion. Don't squander any more of your valuable time wishing that your soulmate will one day understand how incredible you are. Even if this is possible, you should not put your life on hold as a result. Do not attempt to change their mind. If you're in a relationship with someone who isn't ready for a long-term commitment, it's difficult not to want them to change their mind. You may attempt to persuade them to adopt your viewpoint or to see things from your perspective. But if they are not prepared for a real commitment, it is unlikely that these strategies would yield the desired results. 3. Let your soulmate be. You must allow them to be who they are. You should not attempt to change their views because you cannot. If your partner doesn't want to be with you yet, which is obviously the case, there is no point in imposing a relationship on them or attempting to persuade them differently. Even if they change their mind later, or if it appears that they would change their mind given enough time, pursuing your soulmate now will not increase the likelihood that they will return in the future. By giving up and moving out of their way, you're allowing your paths to unfold according to your true destinies. 4. Focus foremost on improving yourself. If your soulmate isn't ready for a relationship, the best course of action is to focus on your own development. This can be accomplished by focusing on one's own life and aspirations rather than those of others. No matter how much time passes, someone who does not want to be with you will likely never be ready for a relationship. If they were destined to be with you, then events would flow organically, without either party exerting undue influence. 5. Be your own partner. It can be tempting, when feeling unhappy, to want to focus on someone else. But when you believe that your soulmate is not ready for a relationship with you, it is important to concentrate on yourself and your own ambitions. Take some time to consider what brings you joy and makes your life worthwhile. Are there things you've always desired but never attempted? Do these things no longer seem appealing? If not, why not try something different? It is essential to remember that nobody can make us joyful without our permission. Consequently, if we are unhappy with ourselves, pursuing our own goals can help us grow as individuals and maybe help us discover love along the road. 6. Do not blame yourself. It's vital not to blame yourself if you've reached out to your soulmate and they're not ready. The fact that your soulmate is not ready for a relationship with you is not your responsibility. They may choose to remain with their existing partner or remain alone, but it does not mean you did anything wrong. It just indicates that the timing was wrong for them or for both of you. 7. Do not suspend your life for them. Remember that your life does not have to come to a crashing halt if your partner is unwilling to commit. Continue doing the things that make you happy, such as socializing with friends and pursuing your hobbies. And don't allow them dictate how you spend your time. Do not let your soulmate's indecision damage your self-esteem. If anything, it should emphasize how incredibly remarkable and terrific you are. Never feel that the unreadiness of your soulmate is a reflection of your own self-worth. It has more to do with them than it does with you. Should you await your soulmate's readiness? Complicated is the matter of whether or not to wait for your love. It is not as straightforward as deciding whether or not to be with someone. While you wait for someone who may never arrive, your life is passing you by. You are placing your entire life and happiness on your soulmate, despite the fact that you will encounter multiple soulmates in your lifetime. Don't become too attached to this soulmate who isn't ready for you. It is easier said than done, but you must not allow your soulmate to prevent you from moving on. Can a soulmate be met at the wrong time? The brief answer is yes. The lengthy response is that it depends on your definition of wrong. If you mean not yet, then the answer is yes. This is also true if you're asking if it's possible to meet someone and feel an instant connection with them, but not be able to pursue the relationship due to timing concerns. For example, one person has just moved into town or is coping with another major life event. But if you're asking if it's possible to meet someone and not discover they're your soulmate until years later, when circumstances have changed, the answer is no way. When we talk about soulmates, we're referring to two people whose personalities complement each other perfectly, like two puzzle pieces that fit together perfectly when placed in the same box. This is not limited to physical intimacy. It implies that when they spend time together, they feel as though they have returned home after being away for years, even if they haven't left each other's sides all evening. Thank you for watching, and please check out some of our other videos.